Martínez y voy a pelear en UFL 2 por mi tierra, Santa Cruz, de la Sierra, Bolivia, en el Grand Plain de 61 kilogramos. Bueno, mi predicción para esta pelea es terminar lo más antes posible, ganar por nocaut.
My name is Justin Wetzell. I'm fighting the 135 Grand Prix. I'm from Denver, Colorado. My prediction for this fight is seeing my opponent on the mat getting battered by me with a first round KO.
Here we go, the bantamweight Grand Prix, the quarter-final fight that we'll see Renzo Martinez take on Justin Wetzell. You are gonna love this fight, Frank Mir, because this man sporting the flag from Bolivia is somebody with a hugely aggressive style. Some of the nastiest leg kicks. He's finished 2 of his fights with leg kicks. On the beginning of the end has come because of them. He is currently on a 5-fight win streak in MMA. He competes in kickboxing outside of mixed martial arts as well. And all 6 of his professional victories in MMA are by finish. 5 knockouts and 1 submission. He has 1 switch, and that is go.
Got phenomenal low kicks. Something that is just a very good weapon for him. And when I first saw this matchup, one of the things I saw is that his opponent tonight is a southpaw. And it is interesting because that outside leg kick coming on that sciatic nerve, your left leg is forward and your right leg comes bashing into it, can be so devastating. Now with the calf kicks that we allow in MMA, even more so. But when you have that inside leg kick, can you finish your guy with it? Taking kicks to the inside throws off your stance, beats people up, but you don't see the same stoppage they do. So I'm curious tonight to see such a high-level kickboxer, what adjustments he makes for the stance that he's going to face tonight and the opponent he faces with the takedowns and the different angles that are going to occur.
And also you add to that killer instinct, Frank, because he's another one of these fighters, and I know you love them, I love them. They never go to eke out that points decision. Every single one of his victories is by finishing his opponents. He doesn't want to just edge in front of you. He wants you to know when all is said and done that you were beaten not just by a man but by a monster.
And that's how I've always felt. That's what the judges are here for, is that at the end of the time, when you've been trying to take the guy's head off, take an arm, take something home with you, basically incapacitate the person in front of you to have an absolute victory. If time runs out and that guy was good enough to keep from being taken out, the judges tell you who won the fight, so we have a winner. But styles where guys now don't fight to fight, the fight to win a judge's decision, I dread them, I hate them, and I'm thank God that they don't put any of them on our cards.
Well, the only difference I'd say is extend your walkout music, my man, because Renzo Martinez enters the cage. Now let's welcome his opponent, Justin Wetzell. And here he comes, the 31-year-old from Denver, Colorado. And Justin Wetzell comes from that camp, that amazing camp over there, Elevation Fight Team. You look at the people he trains with and around, the likes of Corey Sandhagen, who's often with him or training with him or in his corner, and then the row of killers they've got there all the way through from flyweight right up to your light heavy, your heavyweights. It's one of those camps where, you know, every single day is not going to be your day. But this man, I love the way he fights. He's an intelligent fighter, but again, that 7-2 record. He's got 3 wins by finish within them. They are all knockouts as well. He looks cool, he looks calm. His demeanor in the cage is very opposite to Martinez, but he is equally as dangerous.
Right, and curious to see, Justin Wetzell is a great striker also. Very well-rounded, power with hands and kicks, but he's also a very good grappler. So I'm curious right now what kind of fight's gonna break out, and I really put this on Wetzell. I don't see Renzo Martinez, no matter how hard he gets rocked, he's not taking a shot. He's gonna keep the fight on his feet, but Justin Wetzell's the kind of fighter who's capable of being successful everywhere and has showed great ability in all directions. Does he keep this fight on his feet and bang it out and want to go ahead and make this a kickboxing match where he could have success, but the opportunity for his opponents are much higher? Or do he decide to go ahead and take this fight to the ground where he has a much more definitive advantage and just drown his opponent?
You see the look, the intensity in the eye of Justin Wetzell staring at his opponent before he looks to enter the cage and get locked in there with him.
His gloves.
His gloves have not got the red tape on.
The referee sees it.
There we go. Just check the tape. There we go. We're just waiting now. Shouldn't take too long. Justin Wetzell just waiting now and again. Luckily, our referee had his eyes straight on that. But these are the moments, right, where the experience of both these fighters come into play, because, you know, you're going through the motions and these strange variables happen.
It's the worst.
And you just have to stay focused. Nothing can take you off what is supposed to be you entering and being at your best, right?
No, and it both affects both guys, because, look, you're nervous, you're fighting, you're doing one of the most primitive things that man has done since the dawn of time. You and another human being are facing off to go ahead and battle it out, right? And so the nerves are high, the mindset, anything. Now you've been using visualization. You've been trying to visualize how I'm going to walk from that cage, walk down. You hear in the crowd, you hear the music. Your experience now does you justice, because you know what to draw from. Then when things like this happen, someone forgot to tape a glove, or a piece of equipment is like, well, no, that knee sleeve now. I know the commissioner in the back said yes. I'm saying no, take it off. Those things occur. It can throw you off. It can be some distraction that can be very difficult for some fighters. The slightest thing just starts throwing them off because of the amount of nerves they're facing when they're walking into there.
So regrouping as he makes that walk into the cage is Justin Wetzell. They touch gloves. What a fight this is. This, the first of our Grand Prix fights. Let's have a look at the tail of the tape between the two. They see they're slightly older, 5 years the older is Wetzell. Height, both identical. Reach on the side of Renzo Martinez. Let's get this bantamweight Grand Prix fight underway. Let's do that. Let's hand it to Cyrus Feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, this matchup is a quarterfinal in the UFL Bantamweight Grand Prix. Introducing first, the fighter on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5'9" tall, weighing in at 136.2 pounds. His record, 6 wins and 1 defeat. Fighting out of Santa Cruz, Bolivia, I give you Renzo Martinez. And now his opponent, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5'9", weighing in at 136 pounds. His record, 7 wins and 2 defeat. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Justin Wetzell.
Set.
Your referee when the action begins, Jason Aldridge.
And ready with Jason Aldridge, the third man inside the cage. That cage door closes. Justin Wetzell into the red corner. Takes on Renzo Martinez. Now we go. Southpaw versus orthodox. Renzo Martinez with that kickboxing style, that lead leg inviting out there from Wetzell.
And right now he's using that lead leg kick to go ahead and start to work on that leg, and that just doesn't have the same authority and power as that rear roundhouse on the leg. And, but great distance and chopping, and there's one answer to it. You saw after he threw that head kick, Martinez stepped back as a southpaw, which then resets him up in a position to throw power to that outside leg of Justin Wetzell.
Oh, nice. Wetzell is a fighter as well, uses feints really well to bait people in and understand where they're going to go and then enter on these single legs. Look at that, Frank.
Yeah, and great hip cross, look at that. Drove his hand across the hips, controlled, drove down. Great way to control and square up the hips.
And maintain control as well, right?
That was a great shot, great timing. But, you know, Martinez did the right thing. He was trying to whizzer, drive his hips down, and get across, get his legs out. But Wetzell did a great job of what we call cutting the waist. He brought his arm across the waist and held him down to make sure that he couldn't get his hips out, and then circled towards that side to get him now square to the mat.
Strong top position here from Wetzell, and it's the right game plan as well, Frank.
Yes.
There's enough tape to watch on Martinez to know that putting him on his back takes away a lot of those dangerous weapons.
Even when I have fighters who are like, I'm trying to game plan with someone, they're like, hey man, I want to stay on my feet longer with this guy. I'm like, all right, hear me out. Why don't we take him down the first round?
What do you know, Frank Mir? What do you know?
Let's get the guy tired, and then if you want to go and showcase your beautiful stand-up, by all means, you know what I mean? I mean, the stand-up is there to get to the ground, to get the guy here. I'm looking for statistics. I'm looking for percentages. What gives us the greatest percentage of success? And right now, Wetzell getting this takedown early in this first round increases his percentages. because now Renzo is fighting off his back. He's not fighting where he's as comfortable. He doesn't have a ton of grappling matches. He has a ton of kickboxing matches outside of MMA. So even here, his style, he's kickboxing off his back. You see those downward elbows.
Yeah, nasty elbows off of there, but again, Wetzell will be very used to working from this position. Looking at that team he's worked with for so long. Oh, nice elbow from him then as well.
And those elbows are dangerous for the bottom guy, not because they're detrimental to knock you out, because they slice and cut so badly, which interferes with your vision when you got blood coming down into your eyes. And if the cut's in the wrong spot, they could stop a fight.
Happy to work from this top position. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left of round number 1.
And Martinez is not making any attempt to open the guard to get back up to his feet. If Justin wants, he can push him right up against the cage, and now he's got him trapped. He could drive his hips forward and really bang down some damage. Yeah, see again here, this is the mistake that Martinez is making, is that once you get within about a foot of that cage, I don't care if you're Gordon or Ryan, it's not a good place to be on your back, because it's easy for the opponent to force your head against the cage, and it changes your ability to change angles, to escape your hips, to move from side to side. You become immobilized, and then you just become a sitting target. He could drive his hips forward and start beating you up. There we go, break open the guard and try to get up to his feet.
But you see the amount of energy that Martinez is having to use and not really gaining much success for him. This is all putting money in the bank right for Wetzell.
Absolutely. This would be the equivalent if you're a boxing fan going, hey, the guy's working the body. It might not be life-altering shots, but they're adjusting, they're beating up, and they're going to put in the can as far as work. Great job, though, of Martinez was able to open up the guard. He rotated to north-south, but he just couldn't quite get a frame right now. And now Wetzell sits on that leg and drives him right back down.
Picture perfect as well, right, Frank?
Yeah, that was addressed it well, and it wasn't because, Martinez was given a hard effort to get back up to his feet, good hard scramble, but Wetzell didn't panic or create too big of an opportunity for him by making too big of a move. He just sat there, was able to control the legs again, turned the corner, and now here he's driving his hips forward, keeping pressure. Martinez's head's trapped against the cage, which again, look, I don't mind being my back in a fight, but the minute I get close to that cage, you have to open your guard and get the guy out from between your legs. You even can give up your back is not that big of a deal there as much as it is in the open, because you can block your hips against the cage and block off that far side. But by staying here, you just get beat up so badly. I can show you fight after fight after fight. As the grounded opponent, as soon as you start getting close to that cage, you have to open your guard and get your legs out.
And then back to his feet. Just if you look at the eyebrow there, just on the left eye, there's a little slice there from one of the elbows that came down from Justin Wetzell. But you saw frustration as well, Frank, from Martinez towards the end of that. And this is how he got there. That single leg turning the corner and then keeping him. This is great, right?
Yeah, cut the crowd, the hips, and here is Garden. And that was great. Martinez trying to create some opportunities, some damage from the bottom with the downward elbows. But Wetzell was able to respond by driving his hips forward to make sure there wasn't a room to drop those elbows down. It was just on him in exactly a style that even if he were to kickbox now with him more so, it may be, again, it isn't a desperation shot. He's a good fighter on his feet, but you see there that that is a very much the high percentage of success for him. Take him down, wear him out, and eventually hopefully get that submission or work to a position where he can rain down enough TKO, enough ground and pound punishment to get the fight stopped.
Set for round number 2. Cage door about to close. And I'm sure Martinez will be very happy to know this round, as all rounds start standing, and that's what Justin Wetzell has got to be aware of. Wetzell in the red corner, Martinez in the blue. What adjustments does Martinez really need to make here? He's seen the entry for the single leg. What else does he need to do to stop this getting to the mat for Wetzell getting that top position?
I think keeping a nice stiff jab and not putting too much of this weight on that leg. But right there, see how now he's sprawled? He is fighting hips back. Wetzell's just really good, guys. That was great determination. That first shot when he got taken down, you saw there even in the replay, there wasn't any reaction from him to pull that leg back. he didn't start fighting until he hit the mat. It was like almost like, oh yeah, this is MMA, I'm gonna get taken down. There, he tried to dig an underhook and get his feet back. He made an attempt to stop the shot from the beginning of the attempt from Wetzell. Wetzell just was able to drive through and get the leg caught enough to drive his hips over the top to secure the takedown. But it wasn't from at that point, it wasn't from a lack of effort from Martinez. Well, I think Martinez got caught by surprise in that first one.
And that cut has really opened up, Frank. You'll see a lot of blood on the face there of Martinez. But as well for Wetzell, the timing on his entry. Oh, look at that, Matt. I can't actually see if that... Is that Wetzell cut? No, there's a slice right on the top of the right of the head there of Martinez.
Yeah, that's a bad cut, too. But see that Martinez is opening up his legs? He's holding with his right hand. If he goes home and be like, hey, you see how you held the guy down? Yeah, he's holding you down too. You know what I mean? Like, that's the wrong idea. You want that arm between you guys as a frame as you use your other arm to get to your elbow, to get to your hand, to create distance, to rotate your hips down, pull that top leg out so you get to your knees, to get your hips under you, to get to your feet. By him holding on, it's kind of like, and I see guys make that mistake. You know, I'll see guys in the clinch and they try to get away, but they're hugging the guy. I'm like, well, you know, if you're hugging him and then you're trying to get away, your arm's doing the opposite thing your body's trying to do. And we just, you know, it just takes someone pointing that out in training and go, hey, this is why that's not having success. And his stand-up, his hips were turning the correct way on Martinez's, but he just didn't create a frame. There was nothing keeping Wetzell from driving in on him.
And this cut is causing a lot of problems with the sight and the vision. Look at that, Matt, Frank. Again, you talk about those slicing elbows there and how dangerous they can be.
They are. They're so detrimental to just the, not even if the doctor comes in there and stops the fight, you as the fighter are just trying to see what's going on. You got someone trying to punch you and you got, you know, this oil in your eyes.
And it's like oil, right?
It's
It's
exactly.
this viscous liquid, which, oh.
Yeah, it's, you know, the salt in your blood, you feel it in your eyes, it causes, it's just not, it's so uncomfortable. And that wrist control of Wetzell is phenomenal.
And the ref's keeping an eye on this. Martinez, though, trying to roll his way out of this. They're still fighting this dog, mate. Oh. But this second round, and it was all made by the timing on the entry from Wetzell to get that takedown, Frank.
Yes. Very smart, and that's because Wetzell, several things, but one thing I think is because he feels comfortable as a striker. He exchanged some hands and some strikes. He never made it seem like it was desperation or he was forcing to move, because whenever you do that, you become predictable. And one thing in our sport, there's a lot of different variables, but if you're predictable, if I know what you're going for, I can beat you with the pass, cut you off. Oh, okay, you're gonna change levels, and here's a knee for your troubles. But Wetzell was effortlessly in his, the
blood now has let him slip off. He was looking to cinch up the back take, but now Martinez, wearing that red mask, finally back to his feet. The referee might get the doctor's going to come in and take a look at this cut.
Yeah, that actually, as weird as that sounds, that mistake, not really mistake, it's just that the guy, you know, Martinez is covered in blood and he's slippery.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
that is huge.
Yeah, that's not going to go
Wow.
on.
We're going to take a look at exactly where the cut came in. Look at this. Great work from our replay guys to spot this.
I'm going to bring a doctor in now. Right now, they only have a cutman coming in to look at it first. Now, as far as whether the fight gets stopped or not, it's going to be off the doctor's discretion or advice to our referee.
Yeah, that's right.
The fact that the doctor comes in is always a scary thing. He was a fighter.
Yeah, this is a huge cut.
Because the cutmen have seen some horrible things, and so they're going to let a lot of stuff fly. Your doctors, they have a different approach in life. They think you're crazy already for even being here. So they see something they think that could be like, you know, that needs stitches, opens up, you know, a big gash.
I'm just trying to listen into, right in front of us in the commentary position, just trying to listen into what the doctor is saying. Maybe we'll get another look. I think we're going to get able to continue. Yeah, listen to that.
I'm curious what he said, I guess, because he didn't think it was affecting his vision.
That's the cut. Look at the elbow there. Great job by our replay guys in the truck. That's the one. One elbow did that entire gash, Frank. don't think I've ever seen them go in and wipe down the other guy.
I was just trying to think of that myself.
I've never seen that. Yeah.
That Cutman's working out of his corner. That was a great for him to help him secure up the locks.
Yeah. Oh, but Martinez now, he will know he's got to make something happen here. Oh, look at these strikes coming in.
Yeah, now you have a guy who's completely throwing caution to the wind, which at first looked like might have been a recipe to success, but now he's in the same exact position again.
Wetzell is so good at just closing that distance in the fire and still getting that takedown.
Yeah, his flow is beautiful. His ability to go from a strike to a takedown. A lot of guys, you can tell they're shifting from kickboxing to wrestling. It looks like they're almost doing two sports that are melding together. Whereas Wetzell is doing MMA. His takedowns and his striking all flows together perfectly, which makes it extremely hard for Martinez to predict. It's not predictable. He can't see, oh, you're going to change levels, I'm going to go ahead and fire this knee off. In the blink of an eye, he thinks he's throwing punches, and then all of a sudden, Wetzell's locked into his hips, grabbing onto that single leg or driving against the cage for a takedown.
So 2 rounds in the books now. Perhaps the person who has to work the hardest is the cutman in the corner of Renzo Martinez. That is a huge gash, about 1.5 inches across the head. He is going to look to work on it, and maybe we'll get another look at how that happened. Frank, talk us through this.
Again, this was on Martinez's part. Very smart. He came out and he goes, look, they're already getting close to stopping this fight. You know, we're looking at the cut. He knows he's down 2 rounds. And with that opportunity to get back up to his feet, he let it all out, you know, which, you know, I think that's a smart move for him, because at this point, he's just going to get taken down again. Might as well start throwing caution to the wind, firing off some strikes, some home run shots, trying to set up a victory here. Him trying to go ahead and maybe establish, just play small ball and win back in small increments doesn't look like tonight's the night for that to occur. He just needs to go ahead and start swinging for the fences.
Well, these guys both trying to work for their place on the August 12th card. That will be in Phoenix. That will be the semi-finals. They will face off. The winner of this fight will face off with Brandon Lewis. He was set to fight tonight. Unfortunately, his opponent came out. We could not find the replacement. He has been jumped, vied to that August 12th card. But now 5 minutes for Martinez to try and make something happen to turn the tide of this fight, which has all been Justin Wetzell. Wetzell really impressive from start to finish, Frank. And it's about how long Martinez can try and keep it on the feet, right?
Yeah, because right now he hasn't shown any ability to get back up to his feet. So he's gonna have to stop the shot. There, look, shot in, hands together. It looks like another they were the first stoppage.
Oh, wow.
So far, and I mean, it isn't quite safe yet, but that was, for his hands connected as deep as Wetzell was, that's actually impressive. Martinez broke that grip.
Wetzell still with the pressure against the cage, and he works well. Yeah, I was going to say he works well from here, because he'll take anything. He'll chain it to a single, or he'll reap one of those legs. And just before I could mention it, there we go. He pulls that away, Frank. Just the technique, like the level of technique that he's got in all positions when it comes to getting it to the mat, it's outstanding.
No, he's extremely well-rounded. I wouldn't be able to really tell you, like, what's he best at? I'm like, you know what? He's really good at everything. And he's probably best at putting it together. Even there, when he first came out, he faked with a front kick off the backside, a teep. You know, he made it didn't seem like, oh, I'm immediately going to go for the takedown. And as soon as the opportunity arose, boom, blasts the double, forces Martinez against the cage. And even then, Martinez actually stopped the double, was able to get his hands broke. But then Wetzell stomped down with that outside leg reap and was able to rip him right back down to the cage. And here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, looks like he's on a pretty easy route to December 12th, or excuse me, August 12th.
August 12th. And that will see our semifinals take place in Phoenix, Arizona. Justin Wetzell with an outstanding performance. He made a point of coming up to Harrison Rogers as well after the ceremony when he received his shares. He said a huge thank you for, you know, making him part of the company. Part of the company, Frank. That's mad to say, isn't it? It's beautiful to say, I should say.
Like we say, man, don't fight for us. Fight with us. We're all in this together.
All right, now 3 minutes for Martinez to try and get back to his feet. What's he need to do now? He's out in open water. What's the key here? What are the options for sweeps?
His biggest detriment right now is his top hand. See right there? He comes over and he's hugging the head. He's trying to get to an elbow. He's trying to get a butterfly hook, which that's a frame in itself. The butterfly hook, that right foot comes in the hips, can drive your opponent away from you. Rotating his hips to the mat is getting his elbow to the mat, getting his hand to his elbow to create a post, to create elevation. Those are all good things too. It all gets shut down because of his top arm. He hangs on the head. And without creating a frame, it's nearly impossible to stand up because you're essentially holding the guy on top of you who wants to hold you down. You're holding him against you. So without that frame, that right hand right now, for example, what it's doing is causing him to stay where he's at. If he got that hand across the face, he would have a much greater opportunity to get back up to his feet by creating a frame. He does a good job there. He's getting to an elbow, trying to get up. But that butterfly hook now, there's a frame with his right foot that causes separation. But without that other arm on that side framing, it's impossible to get up.
And then you look at what Wetzell does perfectly, right? Just turns the corner one step ahead each way.
Drives in, keeps the forward pressure, constantly climbing forward until they hit the cage, and then uses the cage to his advantage. To drive in, keeps damage and blowing these strikes down in on him that are obviously causing damage. You can see from the blood.
That's opened up badly again, right?
And he's looking for that wrist.
1 minute, 20 seconds. Justin Wetzell, of what has almost been a picture-perfect performance against a super dangerous opponent in Martinez. Can he find a way to get the finish? All of his finishes so far in his career have been by knockout, Frank. But you've got to think of it.
He's going for the guillotine.
We're going to listen into Martinez's corner now, see what advice they're throwing that way.
Hips in! Hips in! Hips in!
Oh, and it's a bad spot. Oh, there we go. Justin Wetzell.
Jason Aldridge stops the fight at 4:14, round number 3. Your winner by TKO due to strikes. And now, moving on in the UFL Bantamweight Grand Prix, Justin Wetzell.
Yo, here with your winner. Justin, great performance, man. Phenomenal. Facing very dangerous kickboxer, striker type. You got great striking, but you decided to show your well-roundedness and take him down. Was there ever any doubt that was going to be the game plan?
Oh, yeah, totally. I've seen his fights. He's very explosive, good technical kickboxer. I can strike too, man, but I'm not a kickboxer. I'm an MMA fighter, so I wanted to exploit what I knew was his weakness. I did, and I feel like I kind of exposed him.
Completely so. At any point when the fight got stopped, were you able to keep in mindset the fight could possibly get going that way, or did you know they were going to keep it going?
as far as the stoppage. Once I heard the ref say, get out of there, it's time to turn it up. I want to get a finish every fight, you know, preferably in the first, but, you know, sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Great performance. And hey, you're moving on August 12th. What do you think about facing Brandon Lewis?
Hey, Brandon's a good fighter, man. I've seen him fight a ton, but it's my time. I'm going to the finals. I'm going to be the first UFL bantamweight champion. You heard it right here, baby. Let's go!
Real quick, we got Brandon inside. And this fight will be seen August 12th in the next step of our Grand Prix. Should be a good one.
See you in August. See you in August. That the semi-final fight. Justin Wetzell will take on Brandon Lewis. What an outstanding battle that will be. But the way Wetzell earned his place was by repainting this UFL canvas with a dominant victory over the dangerous Renzo Martinez. That was the finish. That saw him get his arm raised, and that will see him move forwards to the semi-finals and take on Brandon Lewis.